Hi. I hope you're taking a picture of me, Scott. Hi. My heart is just... Okay, so I didn't really know what I was going to ask when I came up, but as I've been sitting here, I've been feeling into money stories. So when I found your work, a couple, maybe 5, 6 years ago, I was dating a multimillionaire, and I've never felt in such lack and fear in my life. It's really crazy. So I listened to your tapes, and I got out of this.
Because true shortage is not about money. True shortage is about true resources. And true resources is about clarity and alignment and so forth. Yes?
Yeah. So I listened to your work, and I got myself out of that, and I manifested an incredible relationship. He's over there. He moved in right across the street from me. 2 months later, lots of things started to line up. And I have my own business, and I really started to take love and abundance to heart. You know, I started to live it moment to moment, and I kept bringing it back to abundance over and over again. What would love do? What would abundance do? And I started to free myself of these stories around money. And now I'm at this point where I just spend money like it's, you know, water and air, and I'm not scared, but then every second, you know, every now and then, I'll have this moment come in where I kind of like, I'm like, whoa, I just, you know, charged that, and money's coming in, you know, but I'd like to see more of it, and I'd like to not be scared of, like, have those little inklings, and then I bring myself back to center.
Well, just know that any time that you feel negative emotion, it always means that in that moment you are out of balance. And any time that you're out of balance, then a natural desire to be more in balance is what occurs to you. And so let's just talk about the in and out of, as you said, air or water or money. If you breathe more out than you breathe in, your out of balance becomes really evident. It's true of everything. And so do you believe in your ability to balance yourself?
Yes.
So why would you ever feel fear?
I think what it is that I'm in a really great place right now, and my business, I just did this free Goddess Quest thing, and 370-ish women showed up for this. And I'm launching.
The question is, why would you ever feel fear? Is fear what you're feeling? It doesn't matter what label you want to give the negative emotion that you're feeling. It always means that your opinion about such and such is different from your inner beings. That's always what it means. So when you feel it, the question is, how much momentum do you allow to get going before you decide to address it? What we can feel from you, and we really want you to hear this and then pay attention over the next few days what goes on. You don't want your guidance system to stop working. So it's a much better thing that you occasionally do feel concern than that you never do, because that means you're in a relationship with your inner being, and you can feel when you are out of balance. That's a good thing. And so here's what we're hearing from you. Everything is going pretty well for me, and while I know I'm going to continue to expand, I still struggle with the fact that I ever feel negative emotion. And we say, really? Do you struggle with the fact that you've got a fuel gauge on your car that occasionally show you that it would be prudent to go put some fuel in your car? Or do you just put a happy face sticker on it and say, I never want to know this again? I think it's negative that I run out of fuel. I think it's negative that I burn fuel. I burned more fuel than I've put in. That's how bad of me am I? And so the fact that you feel negative emotion is a good thing, not a bad thing. That's how you figure out what you're doing. And you said to us, I keep up with it very well. And you do. So, enough?
I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
We are.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that the phrase that you and Jerry shared with each other has become kind of my mantra, and that is, we're just molding it into place.
Yeah, always that. Oh, joyfully molding into place. We have the fun of our hands in the clay. Yes.
And so my life has become less about what I desire in particular and more about the feeling of just moving along on the journey.
That's good, but the more you're able to hold that sort of detached appreciation for energy flowing, then those thoughts that begin occurring to you will become more and more and more specific. And the truth is, the more specific they come, the more fun it is for you. But if you try to be too specific before you're ready, then you sort of derail it. So general, and then the more the energy flows, the more specific it gets, the faster the energy flows. It's like being on the river. When it's wide, it's slow. But as it gets narrow, it gets faster. The more specific, the more adventurous and exhilarating the ride. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you my question. I've recently met two women, one whom I've entered into an intimate relationship and the other in a business relationship. Would you speak to the different emotional dynamics that you see in each?
Oh, we think you know.
And suggest adjustments that would help each flourish.
Well, the thing that we're really wanting you to hear is the ready to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And one of the things we really want to speak to this is that so often as humans, in wanting to partner up, because there is a dynamism in coupling, there is an exponential adding to energy when two of you are focused in similar ways. It's fun to be together in a mastermind sort of group where your resistance is non-existence and your focus is strong, because there is more of that momentum that we were talking about, and therefore more adventure and more sensation of accomplishment. But so often as humans, you want to find a person that satisfies all of the layers and all of the interests of your life experience. And that's what keeps you, for the most part, from having meaningful experiences, because you're wanting them all to be compiled in one person, rather than allowing the universe, who knows what you want and knows what the path of least resistance, your inner being and law of attraction have the capacity to bring you satisfaction relative to intimacy and relative to thought processes and relative to business enterprises. And it really is so much better if you don't ask for it all to come through one particular relationship. Do you follow? So if you're thinking of the satisfaction factor and you're finding satisfaction with different people for different reasons, that is really the ultimate experience that you intended as you decided to come forth into physical experience. Sometimes you have a wonderful relationship that is satisfying in so many ways, and it tends to get you off balance because you equate the success of satisfaction that you have found with that person. And then you're sort of doomed, because no one person has the responsibility or even the capacity to stay focused so precisely on what's important to you to keep your stream open and flowing. So we would encourage you to be clear about what your intentions are, and then look for satisfaction where you find it, and trust that this vortex that knows what you want will guide you to the specifics of all of it. It could be. It isn't, but it could be. It isn't, but it could be. It might be, but it isn't, but it might be. We're not teasing with you. We're feeling the vibration that you have around this. It is a possibility that your impulses will lead you to a specific relationship that would satisfy a myriad of intentions that you hold. But that puts so much responsibility on that person, and those relationships are almost always doomed from the start. It's like saying to someone, oh, you satisfy me in all of these ways, and I'm good with that, and don't let me down. Where if instead you present yourself authentically as a person who knows how to reach for thoughts and find satisfaction, so that you have a relationship with your inner being that is the reason that you feel so good so much of the time, and then you have a myriad of life experiences that reflects this alignment, that's how you meant for it to be. Can you feel how backwards it is? I need this relationship so that I can feel these ways, or I feel these ways and then I have these relationships. So you're asking us to help you choose between two really wonderful things that right now we would not choose between, because you're in the process of getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And you're not going to like this, but we do. No one really likes this part, but we really do. While you would like getting ready to be ready to be ready to narrow it down to fewer choices so that you're more sure, we want it to widen to many, many more choices. Many more choices of interaction with many more others, because there's so much potential for satisfaction when you allow yourself to be free in the world. And when you literally mean, when you say to your vortex, I know there's a whole lot in there and I want to get tuned into it so that I can experience the best of all that I am. Just think about what you're bringing to the table. And don't worry about what anybody else is bringing. Focus on what you're bringing to the table and let law of attraction fill in the details. And then watch how much fun you have. Now, this answer was threatening to so many of you, because you want to just find one person and live happily ever after. And we are not discouraging that. We just think that you could be living much more happily ever after if you were broader in your relationships on different subjects. In other words, don't you want to play tennis with someone who can play? Don't drag that poor girl out there. She doesn't want to play tennis. Go find somebody that plays tennis and play tennis. And don't make her know what you know about business. And don't make her cook either. You get what we mean. You get what we mean?
I do.
Yeah.